Adult Minute.
Hello, dear learners! Reading and writing are two interconnected processes. We read to write. We write to read. In order to be successful in writing, you must follow a series of steps and consider some important properties. One of these properties is text organization. Text organization refers to the logical progression and completeness of ideas in a text. Mastering this property of a well-written text and following the appropriate way of writing help you, as a writer, ensure that you can convey what you are trying to convey to your readers. And as a reader, it will help you evaluate the text more efficiently and understand the ideas presented comprehensively. With Team Radio Nights, let us all together tune in to this episode in reading and writing skills and master the competency in evaluating a well-written text based on its property, organization.
Senior High School on Air.
Senior High School on Air. The front line of quality and excellent learning.
Excellent learning. You have all the best of the best.
Best of the best of the best.
Sa magaling umaga, handa na ba kayong matuto?
Handa na po.
Reading and writing.
Pagbasa at pagsusuri ng teksto tungo sa pananaliksik.
Practical research 1.
English for academic and professional purposes.
Ability and statistics.
General biology 2.
Disciplines and ideas in applied social sciences.
Cookery and more.
Senior High School, best of the best.
Best of the best of the best.
Great morning to our grade 11 learners who are listening to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela in SDO Isabela. This is School on the Air, giving you another interesting and captivating learning experience for today's episode. Thank you for being with me today. Welcome to the second episode in your subject, Reading and Writing. So, be with me for another worthy learning experience. I am Teacher Catherine Joyce L. Cristobal, your radio teacher for today's learning journey. Let's begin! Would you like to learn how to write more logically?
Yeah!
Wow, that is a good thing. For today's episode, you are going to learn how to identify and evaluate a well-organized piece of writing. But before that, we need to make sure you are set for today's lesson. Let me give you first some few reminders. Put the radio, cell phone, or whatever gadget you are using in a place where it can reach good signal, making sure that the place is free of noise. Also, prepare the essential materials like pens and notebooks. And most importantly, prepare yourself to learn and have fun for today. Cannot wait to start the lesson? If you do, fasten your seatbelt because we will once again continue your journey in reading and writing. Sit back, relax, and listen attentively. Are you now ready for one more fascinating lesson?
Yeah!
That's good! Before we proceed with our new lesson for this learning session, may we have a quick recall of what you have learned in the previous episode. Last time, we have discussed about the pattern of reading text across disciplines. So this time, grab your notebook and pen and let's try to check your answers. For item number 1, baking and sharing Christmas cookies is my favorite holiday tradition. Again, baking and sharing Christmas cookies is my favorite holiday tradition. The correct answer is... That's right. The answer is letter A, narrate. Number 2, table at my grandmother's Thanksgiving dinner is covered with delicious, great-smelling, and colorful holiday dishes. I repeat, the table at my grandmother's Thanksgiving dinner is covered with delicious, great-smelling, and colorful holiday dishes. For item number 2, very good. Letter B, description. Number 3, because they cannot easily prepare their own food, many college students who live in the dorms are on a diet of fast food, junk food, or snacks. I repeat, because they cannot easily prepare their own food, many college students who live in the dorms are on a diet of fast food, junk food, or snacks. How about number 3? Correct! Letter F, cause and effect. Number 4. A pizza is a flat bread, which may be covered with tomato sauce, cheeses, and a variety of toppings. Again, a pizza is a flat bread, which may be covered with tomato sauce, cheeses, and a variety of toppings. Number 4 answer? Precisely. Letter C. Definition. Number 5. Real Italian food, the kind that is eaten in Italy, is very different from American Italian food. Again, real Italian food, the kind that is eaten in Italy, is very different from American Italian food. And number 5, accurately. Letter D, exemplification and classification. Number 6, although traditionally pizza is an Italian dish, Greek pizza, Mexican pizza, and Hawaiian are becoming increasingly popular. Again, although traditionally pizza is an Italian dish, Greek pizza, Mexican pizza, and Hawaiian are becoming increasingly popular. How about number 6? You're right. Letter A. Are you still with me?
Yeah!
Great! Let's continue. Number 7. Italian food in Italy is very different from American Italian food because of regional variations and availability of ingredients. Once again, Italian food in Italy is very different from American Italian food because of regional variations and availability of ingredients. What is the answer for number 7? Truthfully, it is letter E, comparison and contrast. And for the last item, number 8. Baking bread is a process which consists of 3 main steps: kneading, shaping, and baking. Again, baking bread is a process which consists of 3 main steps: kneading, shaping, and baking. Number 8, that's correct. Letter C, definition. Job well done, learners. Give yourselves a warm round of applause. Undeniably, you have learned a lot from your previous lesson. This time, prepare yourself for more exciting tasks. Stay calm and don't be pressured because we will have first the short break.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you! Ngayon ba ang kaarawan mo? Hindi! Hinuhugasan ko lamang ng mabuti ang aking kamay. Sabi ng DOH, 2 happy birthday songs daw upang makaiwas tayo sa COVID-19. Wow! Ang galing naman! Simula ngayon, maghuhugas na ako ng kamay habang umaawit ng happy birthday. Ang inyong kalinisan at disiplina ang magliligtas sa inyo. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, DepEd at ng himpilang ito.
Welcome back, learners! I know you are perfectly set to pay attention and to listen attentively to our new lesson. Have with you your pen and notebook for you to take note all the vital information about our topic for today. Please remain focused as we go on with our new lesson. Our lesson for today is about properties and techniques of a well-written text, specifically its organization. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." A well-organized piece of writing is not only clear, it's presented in a way that is logical and aesthetically pleasing. You can tell non-linear stories or place your thesis at the end of an essay and get away with it as long as your scenes or ideas are well-ordered. Anyhow, let us first define what is organization. Organization, also known as arrangement, is achieved when ideas are logically and accurately arranged with focus on the arrangement of ideas, incidents, evidence, or details in a definite order in a paragraph, essay, or speech. It is important for two reasons. Not only does it help your readers understand the connection between the details of the essay and your thesis, but also, organization itself can help you write the essay in the first place. A clear thesis will give your essay purpose and direction, but choosing a pattern of organization before you draft will ensure that every part of your essay works to support and develop that thesis. Remember, too, that it's a tentative plan. Organization is a continuous process, and your tentative organizational plan can change and evolve as you refine your thesis statement or gather your research. Let us have a deeper discussion about the topic. As you begin to plan the organization of the body of your essay, think about the methods you will use to organize the evidence that will support your thesis. For example, if you are to be given an essay topic that explicitly tells you to compare and contrast the causes of the 100 Years' War, what method should you use? Why is there a need to ask that? Simply because you might want methods which are most suitable to your subject and the type of essay you have been assigned. For now, let us have first a quick discussion about some principles of organization. The first one is definition. When we say definition, it explains the term, topic to be defined by situating the term into the class of objects or concepts to which the term belongs and then enumerating all the differentiating characteristics that distinguish it from all others of its class. Definitions are often extended in academic, business, and technical writing by the use of illustrations, examples, analogies, history, and citations. Here are some useful words in securing definition. Is, refers to, can be defined as, means, consists of, involves, is a term that, is called. The second principle is time, chronological order. This principle separates the subject of the essay into major stages presented in natural time order. These are the words which are beneficial in securing time order. First, second, later, before, next, as soon as, after, then, finally, meanwhile, following, last, during, in, on, until. I hope everything is clear with you, our dear learners. Do you have any question in mind before we continue with our topic? That's great! You are really enjoying our topic. So, let us continue with the third principle. The third principle of organization is classification. When we say classification, it divides the material into major categories and distinguishes between the different categories by explaining the writer's logic in choosing his or her categories. Useful words under classification are classified as, comprises, is composed of, several, varieties of, different stages of, different groups that. The fourth principle of organization is order of increasing or decreasing importance. When we say order of increasing or decreasing importance, it arranges paragraphs so that the most important supporting evidence comes last, thus building support for the essay's thesis. Writers sometimes choose to present the evidence in a decreasing order of importance, placing the most important supporting evidence. This decreasing order of importance is most appropriate in journalism or business writing, where the writer knows the editors may likely cut paragraphs to fit the available space in the publication, or that readers are likely to want just the central ideas and are unlikely to read all the way to the end of the document. Full words under order of importance are less, more, primary, next, last, most important, primarily, secondarily. We are now done with the 4 principles of organization. 2 more to go. I think you have an idea about the 5th principle because I believe that you are an advanced reader. The second to the last principle of organization that we will be discussing is the cause and effect. The principle indicates causal relationships between things and events relevant to the essay subject. Here are some important words in securing cause. Because, for, since, stems from, one cause is, one reason is, leads to, causes, creates, yields, due to, breeds, for this reason. And for the effect, consequently, results in, one result is, therefore, thus, as a result, hence. And now, let's move to the last principle of organization, which is comparison and contrast. When we talk about comparison and contrast, it involves lining up related ideas for a detailed account of similarities and differences. In this kind of essay, it is important to decide whether you will be concentrating on similarities or differences. In general, the more similar things are, the more you concentrate on the differences and vice versa. If you are comparing 2 works by the same author or 2 love poems, for example, what will most interest you will be the differences between them. If you are comparing a riddle with a science fiction novel, the differences will be obvious enough that you will want to focus on the similarities. So those are some principles of organization. Important reminder, although one of the methods mentioned earlier will most likely serve as your major organizational method, you may choose a combination of these methods for your essay or report. For example, while the essay as a whole might have its evidence arranged in decreasing order of importance, you might still use comparisons, causes, classifications, or chronology too within individual paragraphs of the essay's body. These methods of organization apply both to the essay as a whole and to individual paragraphs. Do you have any question before we proceed with our next topic? That's great! So, let us now proceed with the various techniques in achieving text organization. But before that, I would like to ask you this question. Are your texts sometimes difficult for readers to follow? Yeah! What did you do to avoid this to happen again? Very good! Those techniques of yours are proofs that you have already prior knowledge with our second topic. To deepen your knowledge and understanding, let us now have the discussion. These techniques are very much important in making your text more readable and its message clear. Organization can be achieved through the following techniques: physical format, signal words, and structure. Let's have first the physical format. This format is an aspect of the organization that is immediately apparent to the reader. It is seen in how the text physically appears, like headings and subheadings, bullet points, or font emphasis. However, use this technique with discretion, as improper or superfluous formatting can be confusing. To better understand this technique, let me cite an example. Marxist ideology has three main theories. Historical materialism purports that all the features of society can historically be traced back to economic activity. Social class in capitalist societies is what produces unjust structures of power that exist today. Socialism would be the next rational step for the development of human society. The words in bold, which are historical, materialism, social class, and socialism, are the three most important Marxist theories that the first sentence is referring to. By emphasizing these words, the reader can identify the correct term for the concepts along with their definitions. This would also aid in remembering the theories since they stick out from the rest of the text. Do you do this when writing a text or an essay?
Yeah!
That's good! Second technique is signal words. Signal words are textual cues that readers can use to follow a text. They can signal the transition from one point to another, the ordering of events and concepts, or the writer's chosen text type. Example, linear narration, question and answer. Let's have this example. Chuck Palahniuk's novel Fight Club greatly influenced me as a fictional writer. First, his use of the unreliable narrator fascinated me, and I have written similar characters in my works. Second, the theme of patriarchal oppression can also be found in the stories I write. Third, the novel's stunning twist is something that I have been trying to recreate. Thus, I am extremely grateful to have encountered Palahniuk's genius early in my writing career. Based from the given example, by using sequential signal words, first, second, and third. Before the beginning of every sentence, the reader can follow what seems to be the writer's list of 3 reasons why the novel influenced him. The word thus also signals the conclusion and the end of the list. Are you still with me, grade 11 learners? Can you now write a text in a systematic way?
Yeah!
That's nice! Let's continue with the last technique. The last technique is structure. The structure provides the framework upon which the text is organized. It consists of the following: beginning, middle, and end. Beginning refers to the introduction, thesis statement, and hook. Next is middle, wherein it includes the supporting details. And the end part is end, which includes conclusion, summary, and final message. To make things clear, let's have this example. Ancient philosophies believe that a person has an aura. This appears as a rainbow of light around the body, can be seen by individuals with clairvoyant abilities. The colors change depending in one's mood, health, and thoughts. Some scientists believe that the existence of the aura has something to do with the electromagnetic fields produced by the cells and tissues in the human body. Whether auras are real or not, the fact remains that there are forces everywhere that are real, even though we cannot see them. What did you observe from the given example? You're right! Organization in this paragraph is not readily noticeable, as it does not use cues like formatting or signal words. However, the text is organized in this way. In the beginning part, it introduces topic of aura. Its middle part comprises definition and evidence of existence of auras. And on the last part, it includes ending message about forces in the world. There you have it, the 3 important techniques in achieving text organization. Can you now evaluate an organized written text? I believe so. Aside from that, by adhering to the structure, you can now produce a text that is still easy to follow. The topic, supporting details, and concluding message is still clear to the reader. Take note that organization can be achieved through the physical format, signal words, and structure, right?
Yeah!
Great! Before we proceed, may I ask you some questions to see if you can apply the properties and techniques that you have learned? Let's start! What property are you going to use when you do technical writing using illustrations, examples, analogies, history, and citations? Correct! Principle of definition. How about separating the subject of the essay into major stages presented in natural time order? Exactly, making use of the principal time. And how about the different techniques in achieving organized text? Very good! These are the physical format, signal words, and structure. I guess you are ready for the quiz. So get ready after this infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Huwag mo nga akong maikiyakan dyan. Hindi ka artista para magdrama-drama ng ganyan. O ano naman ngayon kung binubuli ka sa school? Mahina ka kasi kaya ganyan. Yung mga pinsan mo ang tataas ng marka, tapos ikaw ano? Pumasok ka na doon at mag-aral ka na. Ang napabayaan at napahabang bullying ay maaaring maging sanhi ng depresyon. Ang mga usaping ito ay hindi biro at hindi pawang kaartehan lamang. Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
And we're back! You are still listening to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. At this point in time, prepare yourselves because you are about to have your quiz. So get your things like pen and notebook. Let's begin! Listen carefully and analyze the text very well. Write the signal words and phrases that the author has used in arranging the details in the paragraph. Are you ready? This text is entitled Losing Your Privacy Online by Angeline Tobias Domagsang. In 2012, Mike Conrad of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, warned the public about a disturbing trend nowadays, wherein people use social media to look for infants to kidnap. According to Conrad, such incident happens about 3 to 5 times a week nationwide in the United States. But cases of kidnapping infants through information acquired from social media do not just happen in the US, but it also happens in other parts of the world. Thus, the public has always been warned to make sure that photos uploaded in social networking sites such as the Facebook must be kept in private. Mothers, too, must be cautious on what kind of information and how much information they can share online. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, anti-kidnapping group Chief of Staff Rene Aspera said that kidnapping syndicates have turned to Facebook and other social networks to scout for their next victims. After receiving about 43 kidnap for ransom cases, he had warned the public to limit the content they post on the Facebook and the Twitter, especially about their wealth and material possessions. The 2 cases mentioned above are just among hundreds of crimes and dangers happening globally today because of disclosure information from online sites. Thus, as online users, it is important to know how private information is disclosed online and that reducing the amount of information you share in the internet can lessen such risk. You have just heard the text, and now I'll be giving you seconds to finalize your answer. How did you find your quiz? I hope that you got a perfect score. Please find time to go back to your lecture notes in preparation for the next episode. Give yourselves a warm round of applause for another productive session is accomplished. I strongly believe that you have learned many things today. I would like to commend you for your active participation. Keep tuning in to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela for more exciting lessons in reading and writing. On behalf of the scriptwriter, Teacher Marby Sigumaru, together with the whole SDO Isabela RBI production team. This is your radio teacher, Ma'am Catherine Joyce Lactao Cristobal, saying this is not goodbye, rather a new beginning for more exciting episodes. God bless everyone. Keep safe.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!